It's disturbing. It's sick, and it hurts. It pulls at your heartstrings horribly.
The family shared a picture of the victims here, Noah and Sophia, and says their older brother, who's accused of murdering them, was incredibly protective of the kids. They can't understand any circumstance that would have led to him doing this and their deaths.
Welcome or welcome back, and thanks for being here. I'm Cassie, and this is A Wicked World. The story I have for you today is about a 5-year-old and a 7-year-old who were viciously attacked in the middle of the night by someone who had always acted like he loved them. But come to find out, there had been signs in the past that something awful might happen. This is the story of Noah and Sophia Murphy. Noah Kent Murphy was born on December 12, 2009, to his parents Melissa and Jefferson, or Vinny as he was called, Murphy. Noah was very friendly and smart. He was in the 2nd grade at Edison Elementary School in Colorado Springs, and he had a great imagination, knew all of his neighbors, loved video games, and playing with Nerf guns. He also loved the outdoors, rollerblades, bicycling, and walking with his dad to the comic book store. His younger sister, Sophia Grace Murphy, was born on November 11, 2011. She was in kindergarten at Edison Elementary School, and she loved to read. Sophia had a great interest in Shopkins, Barbies, My Little Pony, and dollhouses. She loved old jewelry, swimming, going to the library, spending time with her mom, making friends, and welcoming new students to her school. The children also had 3 other siblings. Shortly after 1 a.m. on October 17, 2017, police responded to the family's home, located at 912 Carlisle Street in Colorado Springs, on reports of a stabbing. And what they would find was horrific. Upon their arrival, officers discovered that 5-year-old Sophia, 7-year-old Noah, and their father had all been stabbed inside the residence. All 3 would be transported to a nearby hospital following desperate life-saving attempts by first responders. However, the father would be the only one who would end up surviving. And he would speak with authorities from his hospital bed as he was recovering. He told them that he had been asleep in his room that night when he had suddenly been awoken to the screaming of one of his youngest children. So he'd run to the basement of his home, where he'd then been confronted by his 19-year-old son, Malik Murphy. The teen had lunged at his father and stabbed him in the neck. Vinny began fighting with him and was able to push his son into the garage, where he held him until police arrived. At that time, no one knew that Malik had attacked his younger brother and sister. But soon, the children's grandmother, who was living in the same home, started screaming, "Sophia's been stabbed." Little Noah was quickly discovered to have been fatally wounded as well.
I remember hearing my mom when I was in that garage, in between these guys, I heard my mom yell, "Sophia's been stabbed." I ran inside, I left, and I didn't know they were upstairs, so I ran down to them to find her. And I found Noah first. I knew he was gone.
Now, the family couldn't understand how this had happened. Sophia and Noah had been happily playing football outside with their older brother, Malik, just hours before the murders. According to a statement released shortly after the children's deaths, the family said the attack had been completely unprovoked. Prior to this, the mother and father stated that Malik had been an accommodating, loving, and supportive big brother and son. They also said that Malik had never shown any sort of physical aggression and never even talked back to them. They had been a very close-knit family who had done everything together. Meanwhile, 19-year-old Malik Murphy was placed under arrest, and he was charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder, as well as 1 count of attempt to commit murder. He was held without bond. The teen admitted to detectives that he often felt homicidal ideations and had killed his brother, sister, and attempted to kill his father because he wanted to be alone in the home. So that night, Malik had grabbed his hunting knife, which he kept by the bed, and had purchased at Walmart several months prior for this exact reason. Then he began stabbing his sister while she was sleeping. Malik shared a bedroom with his younger siblings as well, making this attack even easier. The teen admitted to police that he had stabbed his brother and sister 3 times each, and while he was attacking Sophia, she had cried out his name. He also admitted to stabbing his father when he had come downstairs to see what was going on. Malik's plan was to kill his entire family, then bury them in the backyard, all so he could be alone. At one point during his questioning with authorities, he would say, "I can't stop thinking about killing people." He additionally told the detective that killing his siblings was just something that he had to do. Then there were times where Malik was in the interrogation room and he was seen on camera banging his head against the wall and lying on the floor repeating, "No, no, no. Oh my God, why? And Malik, what did you do?" Now, Malik had some other concerning behavior prior to this point as well. Just months earlier, back in March, he had been arrested in Illinois after police received a report that a vehicle was on fire and a man dressed in all black was watching it burn. An officer who was dispatched to the scene approached Malik, who turned around and told him, "I set the car on fire." The vehicle was a white 2004 Ford Explorer that belonged to his parents. One witness who was there that day told police that prior to first responders arriving on the scene, they had seen Malik walk away from the car and go lie down on the grass at a nearby Walmart. He seemed extremely calm. After this incident, he was questioned by detectives, and Malik would tell them that he was in trouble for illegal possession of alcohol back in his hometown of Colorado Springs. He then said that he had borrowed his mother's car to go on a job interview, but decided to keep driving and instead go to visit a friend in Ohio. On several occasions, Malik had stopped for gas, and he also contacted police letting them know that he had taken his parents' car without their permission. But he said that authorities just told him that the vehicle had never been reported as stolen. He also admitted to pouring gasoline in the back seat, then using pieces of a coloring book to light it on fire. Now, apparently his parents had actually reported the SUV as stolen, but according to his mother, she'd been told that since she had handed him the keys, there was nothing they could do. The mother said that when the vehicle went missing with Malik, her prescription narcotic medication also disappeared. Malik's parents told Illinois investigators that their son was on antidepressants, had hearing aids for ear issues, and had a history of running when he felt like he was under too much pressure. Ultimately, the teen was charged with criminal damages to property and arson, but the case was dismissed a few months later in August. This was because his parents stated that even though their son had severe mental health problems, he had no criminal history, and they asked for the charges to be dropped. Something the court would agree to, under the stipulation that Malik receive mental health treatment, which consisted of 12 counseling sessions. Now, apparently the family had moved to Colorado Springs several years earlier in an attempt to start over after an incident at Malik's high school. While he was attending Lincoln Southeast High School, the teen lay in wait inside a bathroom, with the intentions of surprising the next person to walk through the door and strangling them. He didn't end up seriously injuring anyone, but Malik admitted that he wanted to know how it felt to kill someone. However, he ultimately hadn't gone through with it because he was afraid that his victim would fight back and overpower him. So I guess he had just moved on to small innocent children whom he knew could not overpower him. While he was being interrogated in relation to Sophia and Noah's murders, Malik would tell the detective that he'd been to 6 or 7 different psychiatric facilities in his life. And he had gone 3 times to Aspen Point's Lighthouse in Colorado Springs, which operates a short-term stabilization center. This was information that his mother also later confirmed. According to his parents, Malik was a quiet, mild-mannered child who began showing signs of mental illness around the age of 15. This was around the same time that he told them he no longer believed in God. They stated that he had then turned dark and uncomfortable, spiraling into a deep depression, which left him unmotivated to finish high school, get a job, or enroll in college. His parents said that they had tried to help their son by attending mental health counseling sessions with him, regulating his medication, and praying. Sometimes things seemed to go well for him, other times not so much. Melissa would say about her son, "You don't know someone's thinking about murdering somebody until they let you know, or show some signs and behavior that they're going to." Neither one was the case for Malik, period. The thing is, Malik, the oldest of 5 children, had admitted to his parents in the past that he had killed small animals. He had also threatened his family on 3 separate occasions and had thoughts of killing them. Back in April of 2016, a therapist who was working with Malik reported that he had told her he wanted to kill his entire family with a kitchen knife. And the health worker was very concerned that his mother was not taking his threats seriously enough. But according to Malik's mother, Melissa, it was hard to take her son's threats seriously, especially since his actions had always shown that he was an extremely loving big brother. Malik would inform police that he had been diagnosed with depression and antisocial personality disorder, which is associated with homicidal and suicidal ideations, and is characterized by having a lack of regards for others' rights and well-being. Detectives confirmed that he had been on a generic prescription for Zoloft, which is often prescribed for depression. One mental health professional additionally believed that Malik had bipolar disorder, though he had never been officially diagnosed with it. Another time, his parents had tried psychoanalytical therapy with him, though they stopped just short of Malik being diagnosed with schizophrenia. Neighbors of the family had noticed issues with the teen too. One person told investigators that Malik had behavioral issues and had been found in the past on his porch to be completely incoherent due to taking pills and drinking. According to the children's mother, Melissa, Malik had been withdrawing and seeking seclusion for some time. She now believes that he was done discussing what he was really thinking and feeling. Because each time before, when he had admitted to wanting to hurt his family, he had been forced to stay somewhere else, sometimes for a week and one time for an entire school year. What the parents didn't know was that the teen had decided about a month prior to killing Sophia and Noah that he was going to switch counselors. While they previously had been very involved with his mental health treatment and counseling, once Malik turned 18, they had been legally shut out. So they claimed they had no idea that he was having homicidal ideations. They thought he was just being treated for depression. The children's grandfather, Terry Mason, would speak, and he would say that he believed that Malik just could not get a grip on what life was about. He said he had his thoughts. He was just a quiet kid. He was a trouble for them. He had anger issues. But at the same time, the grandfather had no idea why he would have attacked his siblings. Terry stated that Malik loved Sophia and Noah. He was very protective of them and often babysat too. The grandfather now believes that maybe Malik killed because he felt like life wasn't being fair to him and was just angry with society because he didn't fit in. In April of 2018, Malik would plead not guilty to his charges by reason of insanity. And after going back and forth with multiple doctors for over a year, trying to see if he was fit to stand trial, he would be found completely sane. Then finally, in December of 2019, over 2 years after Noah and Sophia had been brutally killed, their 22-year-old brother Malik would take a plea deal on his charges. He would then be sentenced to serve 2 consecutive terms of 48 years in prison, so 96 years total. He was also given a 16-year sentence to serve concurrently for the attempted murder of his father. The children's mother, Melissa, would address her oldest son during the sentence hearing, and she would say, "How dare you, Malik, commit the most unspeakable act towards your own little brother, sister, and father. This sentence of 96 years is most appropriate for you. You do not deserve life outside of prison. You stole Noah and Sophia's life. You kill, you go to jail." She continued stating, "I believe that evil and mental illness is responsible for what Malik did. Malik has a real mental illness that somehow was able to either go diagnosed incorrectly or diagnosed at all. And it is a terrible damn shame, sincerely." The mother also spoke about her 2 younger children who had been killed. She said that Sophia, who had recently started kindergarten, was an easy, sweet little girl who made life worth living. Then she said that her son Noah was witty and full of life, and he always looked out for his little sister. While he was being held in jail, Malik would say to a reporter that he was extremely sorry for killing his 2 younger siblings, and that it wasn't at all like him. A vigil was held for Sophia and Noah Murphy shortly after their deaths at Flanagan Park in Colorado Springs. Here, more than a dozen people gathered and lit candles honoring their memory.
Oh, this was crushed us.
Holding their kids, this Colorado Springs community gathering after the unthinkable.
It's hard. Especially when you see the kids out playing all the time.
These candles shining bright for 5-year-old Sophia Murphy and 7-year-old Noah Murphy, stabbed to death in their own home, their own brother accused of killing them.
Complete utter shock. I mean, we see the guy walking around every once in a while on the street, out playing with the kids.
The suspect, Malik Murphy, told detectives he bought a knife months ago and decided he was going to kill his family. Tonight, parents are trying to explain what happened to their kids. Some played with and went to school with them.
It's okay, baby. Just a minute ago, we seen you guys all here, and they're like, why is the news here? And she goes, I go, baby, it's because your friend. And she said, why does it have to be my friend?
Too many unanswered questions as they released a pink and blue balloon and stopped to remember.
It's hard, it's rough, but we'll get through it as a neighborhood.
The siblings' funeral was later held on Monday, October 23, 2017, at Mountain Springs Church in Colorado Springs. They were then buried side by side at the Evergreen Cemetery in El Paso County, Colorado. Well, thank you for listening to Noah and Sophia's story today. There were definitely some big warning signs that something was not right with Malik. He had threatened his family on 3 separate occasions before he killed Noah and Sophia and attacked his father. Yet for some reason, he was allowed to still live in the home and even share a room with his younger siblings. While I understand that he may have acted like a loving older brother, the second that he threatened any of their lives, he should not have been allowed to be around his siblings unsupervised. What do you think about this case? So, if you like true crime and you want to hear it from me, then don't forget to hit that subscribe button below. And turn on your notifications too, so you'll know when I upload a new video, which is at least 3 times every single week. Thanks for watching A Wicked World today. Until next time, take care guys. Bye. Thank you to all the patrons of A Wicked World. Now, there's even more of A Wicked World on Patreon, so check it out on patreon.com/awickedworld, or use the Patreon app. You'll have access to exclusive videos each month and more. Any support truly helps to make sure the victims are never forgotten, and to highlight the shortcomings of society associated with each case. Do you have a suggestion for a story you'd like to see me cover? If so, send me an email to awickedworldtruecrime@gmail.com.